Alright guys, so Phil sometime last year decided to start up a challenge to start painting up 500 points of 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy. It was a challenge to get you to paint things in an allotted time without feeling burnt out. Now for me, Warhammer Fantasy was my entry game into any Warhammer or any figures. I'd never had it before, but when I'd seen the figures that came in the contents of the starter set, and what with the fact that I got a pack of the Bretonnian archers in a paint set, it was my entry into it. Now my painting was never good and I never used to play the game, so after a few years everything just ended up going into the scrap pile, and it sat there for a few years until Phil brought this out and I decided I wanted to get into Lizardmen. Now that quite quickly ended, and it wasn't until me and my boys were sitting there painting up some figures that I started digging out some old orcs that I'd had, and eventually ended up coming back across the old ones that came in the starter set. So painting these up and getting a good response on the Discord, Simon from Bitesize Wargaming ended up getting in touch with me and said he had some spare or up for a trade. So after him sending these after a trade and getting these all set out and cleaned up in some methylated spirits, I finally decided to sit down and start painting some stuff. Now the methylated spirits worked perfectly after leaving them there for about a week, and just a quick scrub down. Most of the paint had already come off while I was doing it. I hadn't chose to leave them in there for a week, it's just I put them in there at the start of the week, didn't get back round to the hobby until the end of the week. So it was, they don't need to be in there that long, but I decided to leave them in there that long. And as a result, like I said, most of the paint had already come off. But a simple scrub and anything that was loose or still on a bit tight came off pretty quickly. So yeah, that was it with them. I'd also picked up some Lizardmen, like I'd mentioned before, that I fancied doing, so I'd stuck them in the other pot, which are the ones in the yellow rimmed pot to the left. So they will be turning up later, but not for now. I'm going to try and get on with these. So I started with this fella, Grimgor Ironhide, and as a result of that, I moved on to doing his black orcs. Alright guys, so these are the orcs that I've managed to do so far. I've got a 13-man unit of black orcs, a 15-man unit with full command. Sorry, there's full command on the black orcs, and then a 15-man full command on these orc boys. But I can also use them as orc biggins. Can't remember the points off the top of my head, so I'll quickly put it up here to show which for each, how many points there are for each. I've got also a mounted on a battle boar black orc with sword and chopper, and I think I've given him light armor, and he is so many points. And I've also got Grimgor here, but when you take him, you have to take him with a unit of 9 black orcs, and then it's extra for command. But just him and the unit of 9 black orcs is 600 points. So even if I was just trying to do the 500 point challenge, just doing him and 9 of the orcs, the black orcs, would have completed the challenge. So I've done technically more points, but I haven't. If I take them as they are without Grimgor in it, doesn't make 500. But I'm pretty pleased with how they've came out compared to how they were originally when I painted them. I think the armor probably could have been a bit darker on the orcs, but we can kind of see past that, I suppose. Not too bad. Just move them out of the way. But these are the ones that I had originally, with the original 6th edition starter set, the one I mentioned earlier. But the banner bearers come separately. He was a spearman with his top of his spear chopped off, and then a flag stuck on the top of it, which obviously was one that came from Simon. And half of these black orcs were from Simon, and the other half, that the plastic lot, were from Phil from WargamersAnonymous. So massive thanks to the pair of them again, as without them I wouldn't have been able to do or be able to do what I've got coming with the rest of the stuff. But yeah, really happy with these guys. Hopefully I'll get some more of the stuff done with the other bits that I've got on the side to do, which I've shown you the photos of earlier. And hopefully I can have more come together. Whether or not I get a game in with anyone is neither here nor there, but I really enjoyed painting these originally. Where is he gone? This one was the one that I painted originally when painting with my boy, and I I suddenly just got the urge to carry on doing some more. So as a result of that, because of this one, that's why I'm now doing all of these. That's it for now on these guys. Bye for now.